We're getting old hat at this, Dave. This is the third time you'll be seeing this Lay Academy of Preaching. This is our first witness moment of the 2016-17 church season. This Lay Academy of Preaching 3 is a little different. Can you describe the brand new format?
Well, I'd be happy to. But to begin, let's understand why we need this format. There are 55 congregations in our MNO Synod. 36 of them are without full-time ministry. That means 36, more than half, either have shared leadership or they're dependent on pulpit supply. So every week, that means there are lay people in the pulpit who are not supported, encouraged, or perhaps, I don't want to make a judgment, but perhaps inadequately prepared or feel that they're inadequately prepared. So we want to help these people, encourage them, prepare them, and support them. So, Lay Academy 3. This is a new format because after the first two, which were very successful in the winter of last year and the year before, we listened to the people and they were saying, we need something soon. We can't wait till next winter. And they also said, we need specific help for specific weeks.
Right.
Okay. And that's the new format. So, we're assuming that in congregations, lay people already know that they're assigned for a Sunday coming up.
Okay.
They know that they're going to preach All Saints or Reformation or Advent 2 or something like that. So we're asking that this time people sign up to study and prepare for a specific Sunday lesson.
The general style we did before was very effective to get this thing rolling, but it's important this time now to concentrate on helping people do their actual service.
I think it was really good that the first two, we brought people together for 10 weeks, which was a long period of time.
It was tough.
At the end of it, though, they said, can we go longer?
It was cool. Very good feedback from both groups.
Very good. But they were oriented to the lectionary and the preparation process. And then, so they studied 10 texts and they looked at, but only prepared 2 out of that. So there was a sharing and a participation in the process. This time we're much more focused. People have limited time, and we want to put them in a position where they are well prepared for the Sunday that they know that they're assigned. We need to, because of that preparation, we need to begin obviously weeks in advance, and we want to take 4 weeks to prepare them. Again, that sounds like a lot of time, but it's a little bit of time each week to get ready.
If you think about going to seminary, it's a little bit longer than 4 weeks, and that you're not getting a whole
cheaper.
That's
too.
right, and you're not getting a full seminary education in 4 weeks. But you're getting you're getting the experience and knowledge of somebody who's been through the seminary process and who is willing to share that knowledge and experience with.
Sure. Indeed, and like that seminary community, we want to develop a community of other people in the same boat who can consult and collaborate with each other.
The peer grouping in both the first 2 of these was so important, and as a matter of fact, after the first one, they pretty much demanded getting together because we do these online. It was the
face-to-face.
The community piece of this is very important,
and because of this new format, that's going to be scrunched.
Right.
Our events each week are shorter, and we only have forwards that are 10 weeks, but we're going to make the most of it. There are pros and cons to what we're doing, but the preparation for a specific text for a specific Sunday is the main goal.
Perfect.
Once you register, you'll be sent a study guide for your particular Sunday.
Perfect.
Okay? Then you have a little bit of time before our first session to look at that. But in the first week, we want to look at the text and its context.
Right.
What was written, by whom, when, where, why. That's the text.
Okay.
Then in week 2, we look at the local context of the particular congregation.
Bringing the larger picture into.
Specifically, what do we need to hear? This was the lesson that Paul, Peter, Jesus gave at this time.
Hundreds of years ago.
What do we need to hear out of this? Given that we are particular people in a particular time. Okay? So we'll look at that context, and that's very exciting because then people begin to see that there's this bridge that emerges between then and there,
right,
here and now,
right,
and that's the living word. This is not a canned sermon. We'll talk about that another time.
Okay.
But we will look at that text, the local context, and out of that will emerge this theme.
Okay.
Okay. Then in week 3, and this is an improvement or a development in this format. In week 3, we're going to say, now that you have this theme, how might you present it in an interesting, effective, and faithful way? So we're going to talk about, you have this theme for this context. Is this a theme, a text that would be best served by a story? Is this something that should be dramatized? Are there some illustrations that we can bring in, either as supportive stories or even illustrations on a screen, if people have that capability?
Right.
Is this a sermon that might best be done in an interactive way with some discussion? The preacher poses a question, the people respond, you take that another step. So we're talking about the delivery process as well. Then, after looking at the text and the context and the possible message and the delivery, then you have some time to actually prepare something. So between weeks 3 and 4, the participants will work on a sermon and submit it to their peers as a text, or if possible, we'd like to even have you record it, and then so that we can actually see the delivery. Are you stiff and robotic, or are you, and first off, just get over it.
Right.
Right. But
it's also it's a good practice. One of the things that they always say is do it in front of a mirror, or do it in front of your spouse or somebody else who at least to get the comfort level up.
Sure. And do I really sound like that?
What? Yeah, I hear you.
So then in week 4, yes, here we are. In week 4, we review this submitted sermon, both the content and the delivery, if that's possible. But I need to emphasize, it's for encouragement, it's for support, it's so that this individual is prepared to deliver this sermon on the assigned Sunday a week or 2 later. This is not something where you're going to be under the gun and ripped apart for whatever.
I know at both times, the first 2, when people had to share it's always cautionary, but once in that room, online, it just changed everything, because it was a support community. There was a bit of not even very much critical thinking. It was more like supporting, and I like this and I like that.
Yep.
Then
tell me more about this.
Bring this more deeply into the conversation.
Yeah. So we're very excited about this new format, this new possibility, and we're cognizant of this reality that we need to do this. Our previous experiences were that people came out of it with greater confidence, greater skill, a depth of understanding. They were touched in their own faith by this discussion. There's certainly an appreciation for the task. They love their preachers, and an appreciation for this living word, that this is the Word of God that is appropriate to a particular people. And God is wanting to say something through the Holy Spirit to this people, to enliven them, set them free, bring abundant life. There will be an orientation to the software, so that before the class ever starts, people can sign on for an evening, for an hour, work their way through all the buttons and whatnot, and test their microphones, and identify any glitches we have with their local hardware or software. So that orientation is September 13th at 6:30. The first class for the early fall series is September 20th. It's coming close. And then the first class for the later fall series is October 18th.
Perfect. We do this online. We use Adobe Connect. It's very simple. Dave sits at home in his office and shares his wisdom and knowledge. I sit at my house making sure that the technical part is taken care of. You sit at your house drinking coffee, find a nice comfortable place, but it's a very, very easy place to learn. It's comfortable and safe, and it's actually a little bit of fun, kind of coming out of your comfort zone a little bit too, and learning online is fun. So I'm looking forward to putting that together again for this group.
Good. So thank you for your support. This wouldn't happen without you.
Appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. All the information you can find will be on the M&O Synod website. I will also have it on Facebook if you're there, and we're looking forward to talking with you online and 21 days, I think.
Yeah.
So
Lake Academy 3.
get your registrations in fast.
Thank you.
Thank you.